welcome back to my channel. Before we get started with today's episode, I just wanted to talk to you guys about a couple things that have been going on in my life and explain to you why I haven't had any videos up in the past 3 weeks, I believe. As many of you know, as I believe a lot of my subscribers are teachers, teaching is hard, always, especially as a first-year teacher, and especially with starting your first year teaching straight after the pandemic. The past few weeks have had some incredible experiences, but they've also had a lot of challenging and almost negative experiences as well. I tried vlogging and making these vlogs for you over the past few weeks, but I just feel like it became me talking about negative things that were happening because it was just almost a constant. Every day there was something new and it just kept building up for the past few weeks. And I never want this channel to be about negativity and to be about the negative things that happen in teaching, because truly I believe that there are more positive things that happen, and we do more positive things than the negatives, but the negatives are always what get outshone. And I just didn't want to put that out there. And I wanted to make sure that I was in a good mindset before I filmed what was happening. For instance, had I continued to just vlog like normal and put up everything that happened in the past few weeks, you would have heard a lot, but you wouldn't have heard that I had a student who the first few weeks of school didn't want to be there, wouldn't make eye contact with me, didn't want to look at me, didn't want to do any schoolwork, was fine having a 0 in my class. And I had a conversation with him about 3 weeks in and was just like, what's going on? How is everything? You know, who do you live with at home? And we were just talking, and I found out that he lives with grandma and that, you know, things have been tough for him, and this is his second time taking this class, and he didn't want to be there because he already learned everything, and the only reason he failed was because it was virtual. And I'm so thankful that I took the time to have this conversation with him, because from that day forward, he completely shifted his mindset. He ended up passing last quarter. He's one of my star students. He's one of the ones that always is answering questions. He's completely engaged. He's having fun in class, and that's incredible. That is the number one reason why I chose to become a teacher. And I am happy that I'm able to share that with you today, but had I been in the mindset that I was for the past few weeks, that would have been completely overshadowed. So anyway, this is my little preamble to today's video, which I will go into what all that is about after I film this. Thank you so much for watching. If you have been watching, thank you so much for being patient with me as I just try to figure out everything that I need to do and try to figure out who I am as a teacher and who I am as a YouTuber and who I am trying to become. I appreciate that patience. If you are still enjoying this, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and like and comment on this video. Without further ado, I'm going to stop talking now so we can get through the featured presentation. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do something a little different. It still pertains to teaching, but I think it pertains more to self-care, and that's something that I genuinely believe that way too many teachers are lacking. One thing that I've noticed too is that a lot of people in general, but a lot of teachers have the tendency to complain about all the negatives that happen in the classroom or with their students or just in their lives in general. And instead of complaining about it, I think we should be embracing the challenge in enjoying all of the good things that happen, because I think so often the bad happens to outweigh the good, and that's not great. We don't want that. So one way that I know that I have helped myself to not complain as much and to just kind of work more on focusing on all of the things I'm grateful for during the day has been journaling. And I want to do a full video on journaling and the benefits of journaling and where to start if you don't know where to start. But before I talk about what I want to talk about today, I want to take a brief pause to talk just this much about journaling. Again, it is something that I've started doing. It's just a way to write about everything, not just the bad and not just the good, but just getting all of your thoughts down on paper and out of your head, which I think is one of the best forms of self-care, because when it's not swimming around up there, you have so much more room for any other part of your life, whether it be focusing more on work or focusing more on yourself. When you get all your thoughts out, sometimes you realize you had thoughts that you didn't even know you had. So with that being said, when it comes to journaling, the first thing that I recommend is buying yourself some type of journal or notebook that just makes you happy. For me, I like something bigger, and I like that my writing can be bigger, because if I'm writing and just free writing, it's not going to be very neat, it's going to be very messy. So I like to go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx and just get a bunch of notebooks like this. This one says, "Make today ridiculously amazing." I enjoy writing in here. When I see it, just the prints on it make me happy and make me want to pick it up and start journaling. So with journaling, like I said, I definitely want to make a bigger video on this, but one of my writing prompts that I actually got from another YouTuber, her name is Michelle B. She's actually a YouTuber from Australia who does a lot with self-care. She posted on Instagram and on YouTube about how she posted and created this ultimate guide to her unhappiness. Now, I'm not sure if she made this up herself or if she saw it somewhere else, but I just remember her posting it, and I really enjoyed that whole idea of posting what are the things that make you unhappy in your daily life. I think that this is beneficial for a few reasons. The first being that sometimes we focus on, yeah, these are the few things that make me happy, but we don't focus on the things that we do every day that make us unhappy. And why would we continue to do things every day if they make you unhappy? So today I want to talk about how you could create your own ultimate list to your unhappiness and what that gets you and the benefits that you could receive from that. The first thing that I recommend is to buy a journal. Buy that journal so that you get started on just writing down everything that's going on in your life. Once you've done that, I want you to set aside 30 minutes of your day to just brain dump anything that you can think of that makes you unhappy throughout your day. What are these things that you know are going to cause you unhappiness, but you still continue to do? This list should be things that you know if you do in your day, it's going to cause you unhappiness at some point. For example, I'll give you my top 3 things that lead to my unhappiness, and I know that if I do these things or don't do these things, that is going to cause me unhappiness. Number 1 is that I do not drink any water during the day. I know that I'm going to get like puffy and my stomach's gonna hurt a little bit. I'm going to feel just dehydrated all day long, and I know that I'm not my best self. So I know that I should be drinking water because I will be unhappy if I don't. Number 2 is that I put too much on my to-do list. I know if I put too much on my to-do list, I'm not going to get my to-do list completed, which is not going to lead to satisfaction at the end of my day. And number 3, I sleep too little or too much. I know people that can last on 4 hours of sleep. I know people that need 12 hours of sleep. For me, I need 8.5 hours of sleep. And if I don't get that, I am thrown off. If I get too little, I'm tired. If I get too much, I'm tired. So I have to make sure that I am getting 8.5 hours of sleep a night. So once you set aside your 30 minutes and you write this list, you might be thinking, why did I just make this list? You've now created a list of all of the things that you should be avoiding in your life. My list has 11 items on it, and I know that these are things that I should be doing or not doing every day. When you have this list of the things that you shouldn't be doing or should be doing more of, then that sets you up to be able to start creating habits and routines and make sure that you are filling your day with things that you enjoy or things that are going to make you feel better. For example, if we go back to my top 3, I make sure now that I'm drinking at least 70 ounces of water a day. And yes, so to some people that's a lot, but that's what makes me feel good. I've bought myself a hydro jug. I think it holds 85 ounces of water, and I fill it up with ice in the morning. So before I put water in it. So it's not totally 85, it's right around 70. And I know that if I drink that throughout the day, I'm going to feel great the next day and I'm going to do it again. Secondly, putting too much on my to-do lists. I've made it a very top priority of mine to make sure that I have absolutely no more than 5 things on my to-do list a day. It's actually better for me if I have 3 things, but as a teacher with a YouTube channel and trying to run a business, it's often a little bit more than 3, but I will not ever put more than 5 things on my to-do list for the day, because chances are I'm not going to complete those 5 things, and then I'm going to go to bed thinking about how I should have completed more during the day, when in reality I had done enough. It's just that there were still items on my to-do list. And for number 3, for sleeping too little or too much, I've made sure that I have a very good routine where I go to bed. I'm in bed at 9 o'clock at night. I usually don't fall asleep till between 9:30 and 10, but that's good so that I'm up at 6. That gives me my 8.5 hours. That also gives me plenty of time in the morning to just kind of take it easy, get my exercise in, and focus on all these things. So after you spend your 30 minutes and you have your list, you can take that list and then start to think about how you want your day structured and how you should be doing your days. For me, I like to have a very structured routine set so that I know that I'm going to complete all of the things I need to do. For example, going to bed at 9:30 is going to make sure that I'm up at 6. And being up at 6 ensures that I have over an hour to get my exercise in, to make sure my lunch and bag are packed and ready to go, and to get ready in the morning so that I can leave my house and get to school on time. I think it's very important that everybody do this, but especially teachers, because as I said in the beginning, self-care is extremely lacking for teachers because the to-do list is never ending. You need to take a look at your day and determine what works for you. If your day is that you do 5 things for yourself, and if you don't do 5 things for yourself, then you're unhappy, then make sure that you make time to do 5 things for yourself. If on your list is that I don't read at least for 10 minutes every day, then make sure that you read for 10 minutes every day. Not just put on your list that you need to do this, but specifically sit down and think, when can I pencil in this 10 minutes of reading so that I make sure that I do this every day? Doing this was so eye-opening for me because I wrote down things on my list that I didn't even realize made me unhappy, and now I'm able to take that list and determine what makes me happy so that I'm doing the best for myself every day. I think this is also a really eye-opening experience because you've just written what makes you unhappy. And if it makes you unhappy, why would you continue to do it? Once you've called attention to these things that are causing you unhappiness in your life and you work to remove those things, you're just going to be so much happier, I promise. If you take the time to just work on you, determine what's not working and determine how to make that work, your life is going to just feel so much better. In this video, I've shared with you 3 of the items that are on my ultimate guide to unhappiness and how I've used those items to create new routines and habits for me that are actually something that make me happy. If you're interested in seeing my whole list, please make sure that you follow me on Instagram. My name is down here below, the.simpleteacher, and I will show you my whole list and how I've used that list to create the routines that I have today. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I really hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you've learned a little bit about taking your first step into a self-care journey. There are so many working parts to self-care, but it really starts to come together when you start to look within yourself and determine what's not working in your life and how you can change it. That's when true self-care starts to manifest, and you can stop calling retail therapy or drinking a glass of wine after work self-care. Not that I think there's anything wrong with that. Not that I don't also do the same, but true self-care is looking within yourself and determining what's not working and how you can make it work. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye!